Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, October 1st. Kind of a mild, muggy morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region with lots of clouds around. Those clouds should give way to some afternoon sunshine. It'll turn warmer compared to yesterday. High temperatures making a run for the 80-degree mark in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City this afternoon. And then unseasonably hot on Wednesday. D.C. area should climb into the 90s on Wednesday afternoon to near 90 in Philly, upper 80s in New York City. All of these areas in the Mid-Atlantic region could have record-challenging temperatures tomorrow afternoon. It's possible some high-temperature records will be set on Wednesday afternoon in the Mid-Atlantic region. And that turns cooler on Thursday and even cooler on Friday. Kind of two different cold frontal systems coming our way, one Wednesday night and one Thursday night, so we'll kind of step down in temperatures. Much cooler on Friday and Saturday compared to the next couple of days. Then we turn warmer again at the end of the weekend and going into the early part of next week. With that early week warm-up comes a pretty good chance of some showers and thunderstorms in the Sunday night, Monday time frame. Well, let's take a look at the Atlantic Basin tropical scene as we begin the month of October. Still have Hurricane Lorenzo out here over the Atlantic. It continues to move certainly away from the U.S. in a northeasterly fashion. Could have an impact on the United Kingdom in a few days as it will continue to maintain some strength and continue to move in that northeastern direction. Notice a couple of waves have formed in the last 24 hours or so. And this is the area to watch over the next few weeks. We're now getting back into the second half of the Atlantic Basin tropical season. Will start to slowly wind things down during the month of October. And that's the time of the year that I like to look for what I call homegrown type systems, those that form over the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico or Western Atlantic as compared to off the west coast of Africa. There are more homegrown systems usually in the latter stages of the Atlantic Basin tropical season. Now, these two systems are unlikely, the way it looks right now, to strengthen into tropical storm status, but we'll certainly monitor these two systems over the next few days and this entire area over the next few weeks for those potential homegrown systems as we wind down the tropical season. Well, let's take a look at the current surface map across the U.S. First of all, high pressure is moving off the eastern seaboard today. That will allow for warmer, more humid air to flow on the backside of the high out of the southwest towards the northeast. Will be noticeably warmer this afternoon in the I-95 corridor region, probably 80 degrees in New York City and into the 80s potentially this afternoon in Philadelphia and the D.C. metro region, noticeably warmer than yesterday. And then Wednesday promises to be an unseasonably hot day. In the 90s in D.C., near 90 in Philly, upper 80s in New York City. All areas of the Mid-Atlantic region could have record-challenging heat on Wednesday. Again, high temperature records are possible in parts of the Mid-Atlantic region on Wednesday afternoon. Then we start to cool down. This cool frontal system actually passes through on Wednesday night. Certainly a much cooler day on Thursday in New York City and Philadelphia compared to what is expected on Wednesday afternoon. It even turns cooler down in the D.C. metro region on Thursday, but there'll be a secondary cool front passing by Friday morning. Turns even cooler on Friday, and Saturday both look like unseasonably cool days in the Mid-Atlantic region. But then we start to turn warmer again on Sunday and especially on Monday. And with that early week warm-up comes a threat for showers and thunderstorms on Sunday night and Monday of the early part of next week. Well, let's take a look at the 0Z GFS 850 millibar temperature anomaly forecast going forward. Kind of an up and down pattern over the next several days. Again, the highlights will be unseasonably warm conditions on Wednesday and then much cooler Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then we turn warmer again during the early part of next week. Here's as we begin the day on Tuesday, cloudy, increasing amounts of sunshine expected this afternoon in the Mid-Atlantic region and unseasonably mild for this time of the year as we climb back into the 80s. Let's move forward here. The peak of this warm-up, however, will be tomorrow afternoon. Here we go on Wednesday afternoon. Perhaps 90 degrees in Philly, in the low 90s in D.C., upper 80s in New York City. Some records may fall on Wednesday afternoon, but that cold air that has been bottled up in the northwestern part of the U.S. and all across southern Canada, by the way, helped to contribute to that massive snowstorm this weekend over the northern Rockies, will be felt in the Mid-Atlantic region beginning on Thursday and especially on the days Friday and Saturday. Let's move forward here. Notice the cool air kind of sliding down the coastline, first into New England, but still kind of a transition day on Thursday, and then that colder air starts to filter in here on later Thursday night, going into the day on Friday. Certainly considerably cooler on Friday as compared to what is expected tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday afternoon. But we'll see just kind of a temporary cool down Friday, Saturday, definitely cooler than normal. But look at here already by the early part of the weekend, we have a warm-up beginning in the south central U.S. and it'll start to turn warmer again here in the east coastal region, mid-Atlantic region during the day on Sunday. With that warm-up comes a pretty good shot, it looks like, at some showers and thunderstorms Sunday night and Monday. But then the topsy-turvy pattern kind of looks like it'll continue. We start the early part of next week above normal again, but here we go again, another cooler than normal air mass. Looks like it'll arrive here by the middle part of next week. Well, in terms of precipitation, let's take a look at the 0Z GFS forecast maps going forward here. Basically cloudy skies this morning, but partly sunny this afternoon in the Mid-Atlantic region. Not much in terms of rainfall, but a southwesterly flow of air pumps in warmer and more humid air. Certainly muggy in the overnight hours tonight. Then we get into the day on Wednesday, and here we go. Probably some records will fall in the I-95 corridor region, maybe into the lower 90s in D.C. tomorrow afternoon, near 90 in Philly, upper 80s in New York City. Cooler air, though, poised up in the south central part of Canada to make a run at the northeastern U.S. by the end of the week. We have one frontal system coming through Wednesday night with some showers possible in D.C., Philly, New York City. Not a heavy rain event. Here's that cool air mass backed up by a strong high-pressure system over Canada. And then a secondary cool front arrives Thursday night going into Friday morning, ushers in even cooler air for the day on Friday. Notice some blues up here. That's some snow associated with this chillier air mass up across southeastern part of Canada. Again, could be some showers Thursday night with that secondary cool frontal system. That comes on through here, and by Friday, northwest wind, probably cooler on Friday as compared to Thursday, and Thursday itself will be much cooler than what we expect on Wednesday afternoon. But this large high really stays in control on Friday and Saturday. Here we are on Saturday morning, a chilly morning, very likely to be the coolest morning so far this season. We're talking about going late Friday night, early Saturday morning, the 40s quite likely in the I-95 corridor region with this strong, cool, high-pressure system in control. But by the latter part of the weekend, that already shifts to the east, and by Sunday morning, we'll start to turn a bit warmer. Next frontal system approaches. Good chance of showers and thunderstorms in the Sunday night, Monday time frame. So kind of an up and down pattern with respect to temperatures over the next week or so. Probably, again, the highlights will be unseasonably warm conditions on Wednesday afternoon, possible record high temperatures on Wednesday afternoon, cooler on Thursday, even cooler on Friday and Saturday. Then we begin to warm up again during the latter part of the weekend and going into the early part of next week. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.